What would drive a 16-year-old girl to want her entire family dead? Was it anger, love, obsession, or something darker buried deep inside? In a quiet Texas town, a story unfolded that would horrify an entire community and leave investigators grappling with chilling reality. The mastermind behind one of the most brutal family murders in America was not a hardened criminal, not a career killer, but a teenage girl named Erin Caffey. It was the early hours of March 1st, 2008, when chaos erupted in the sleepy town of Alba. A fire blazed in the Caffey family home, swallowing the house in flames. Inside, unimaginable horror had already taken place. Erin's mother, Penny, was shot multiple times. Her younger brothers, Matthew and Tyler, just 13 and 8 years old, were stabbed to death in their bedrooms. And her father, Terry, had been shot 5 times and left for dead. Before fleeing, the attackers set the house alight, determined to erase every trace of their crime. But against all odds, Terry Caffey survived. Crawling through the woods with bullets lodged in his body and smoke filling his lungs, he managed to reach a neighbor's house nearly 300 yards away. Battered, broken, but alive, Terry became the living witness who would unravel the truth behind the massacre. And the truth was almost too horrific to believe. Investigators expected the culprits to be strangers, burglars, enemies, outsiders. What they uncovered instead shocked even seasoned detectives. The murders had been orchestrated by Erin, the Caffey's only daughter, the sweet, smiling, church-going teenager who sang in the choir, played piano during services, and had grown up in what seemed like an ordinary Christian household. So how did a young girl raised in faith and family become capable of orchestrating the deaths of her own blood? The answer lay in an obsessive teenage romance that spiraled completely out of control. Erin had fallen in love with 18-year-old Charlie Wilkinson, and to her, he became everything. The relationship was intense, consuming, and all-encompassing. Her parents, Penny and Terry, grew concerned. They saw the warning signs. The secrecy, the rebellion, the way Erin changed when she was around him, when they forbade her from seeing Charlie. It was a decision made out of protection. But to Erin, it was betrayal. Cut off from the boy she loved, Erin's emotions turned from heartbreak to rage, and from rage to something far darker. To a 16-year-old consumed by obsession, her parents weren't guiding her. They were standing in her way. And so, in whispered conversations and text messages, Erin and Charlie began to fantasize about a life free from restrictions, a life where her parents would no longer be an obstacle. Those fantasies quickly turned into plans. Not idle teenage threats or dramatic words, but detailed instructions. Charlie, fueled by devotion to Erin, recruited his friend Charles Wade and Wade's girlfriend. Together, they armed themselves and drove into the darkness with a mission: to wipe out an entire family. Erin waited in the getaway car as the others entered her home. The sounds of gunfire, screaming, and the crackling of flames marked the destruction of her family. And when it was over, she drove away with them, silent, complicit, and forever marked as the girl who ordered her family's murder. The community was left reeling. How could someone so young, so seemingly innocent, mastermind such horror? Prosecutors painted Erin as manipulative, cold, and controlling, a girl who valued her relationship over the lives of her parents and siblings. They argued that she was the true architect, pulling the strings while others carried out her orders. The defense, meanwhile, insisted Erin was a vulnerable teenager under the sway of an older boyfriend, incapable of fully grasping the gravity of her actions. But the facts spoke louder than the excuses. The planning was deliberate, the actions were coordinated, and the consequences were irreversible. Erin was sentenced to life in prison, with the possibility of parole after 40 years. Charlie Wilkinson and Charles Wade received life without parole. For Terry Caffey, the lone survivor, the aftermath was almost unbearable. In one night, he lost his wife, his 2 sons, his home, and his sense of security. And yet, what shocked many was not just a crime, but Terry's response to it. Instead of drowning in bitterness, he chose forgiveness. He visited Erin in prison. He spoke of letting go of anger so that it would not consume what was left of him. His capacity for grace stood in stark contrast to the violence he endured. But forgiveness does not erase the questions. Was Erin a master manipulator who coldly plotted her family's destruction? Or was she a confused, impressionable teenager swallowed whole by a toxic relationship? Was she born dangerous? Or was she shaped into a monster by circumstances, emotions, and influences beyond her control? The case of Erin Caffey forces us to confront the darkest possibilities of human nature. That evil can wear the face of innocence. That destruction can emerge not from strangers, but from within the home. It's a story that unsettles us because it makes us wonder, how well do we ever really know the people we love? And how far could obsession drive an ordinary person into unthinkable darkness? This is the story of Erin Caffey, the girl who ordered her family's murder. Television has stories like this compel you to question the extremes of human nature. Don't forget to subscribe for more true crime documentaries.